What's happening, my friends?
What's going on?
I'm here with Jack Attack, the Jack-o'-lantern.
That's what they call me.
The Jack of all trades, the...
Jack Black of Blackjack.
Yes, he's got many nicknames, all from high school, I believe, correct?
All from high school.
Yep, awesome. Yep. Anyway, we are following up with a lead of Jack's today. And so Jack is supposed to be giving them a call back to hopefully try to close them. Jack, you've been talking with them for how long now?
About 2.5 months.
So
yeah.
Jack's been following up for about 2.5 months with them. We've gone back and forth on price. We went and saw the property. It's a nice house with a guest house, and it's on 1.2 acres. It's an awesome property, something that we really want. So we're going to go through everything right now, and Jack's going to give Mike a call, and we will see how this goes. So stay tuned.
Heck yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It would be better not to have to worry about the line going in and out. Okay, so listen, we really do want to make some deal work. We're going to have to get closer to the 500 number if we can do that. We've done a bit of checking on the comps in the neighborhood, and you know what? I assume you're basically going to flip the house, right?
Yeah, so we do a number. We have a number of exit strategies. So sometimes we'll do long-term rentals or or flips.
Yeah, okay.
So it just kind of depends on the property. But
and really, Jack, truly, that's none of my business. Once you buy it, what you do with it is really none of my business. I'm just trying to figure out where we go with this and how we make it work right now. So we're looking at we have a fairly modest basis, as you can imagine, in that house. So we're going to get, unless we do a property exchange, which we're looking into doing right now, we're going to get clobbered with capital gains because we've owned the house for over 25 years. That's why I'm saying to make this work, we're going to have to get very close to 500,000. And I'm hoping that we can do that. The leases are month to month. I've checked all those details out. So you can decide, you'll have whatever you want to do with it. Give them as much time as you want, or keep them in there until you decide what you're going to do with the property. That's all up to you, and that goes for both of them. I was going to even ask you, is property exchange something that you do? But I think probably we just want to go to a regular realtor and find another property in Prescott concurrently with whatever deal we can do with you.
Yeah. So, quick question on the tenants there. I know the last time you and I we spoke, you mentioned about 22 to 2,300 that they were bringing in per month. Do you happen to know the breakdown on the tenants, what they're paying individually?
Oh yeah, I mean I do. I don't have it in front of me, but I can certainly email it or text it to you. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and back to kind of what you were saying earlier. Obviously I've mentioned before how we work, and I think you certainly could, list the house for somewhere around closer to 500. But again, with us covering all the realtor fees, 6% typically for realtor fees at 500,000, that'd be about 30,000 right off the top. So that's kind of where our number comes in, just a little bit lower than what you may be able to, typically list it at. But we were just really trying to, we ran multiple exit strategies, trying to get you that best possible cash offer, just because after walking it, confirming the condition like we had talked about earlier. Yeah, it's an unusual floor plan. We know.
Yes.
It was the house my wife grew up in. So, the bottom line is 460 is absolutely not going to do it. So we can't do that. If you guys want to talk about it a little bit and see how much closer to 500 you can get, we're pretty set on the 5, or we'll just sit tight on the property for a while. I know everything. I'm not trying to sell you, and you're not trying to sell me. The reality is we both know the area is hot. How you're going to be able to maximize your revenue growth on the house is not, I don't know. That's going to have to be something you want to do. And we'll see. But we think it's a good time to work with you. We'd like to try to make it work. We've investigated enough so that if we have to do an exchange, we'll try to work that out quickly to save capital gains. But right now we're gonna, we just can't afford to sell it for much less than 5.
Okay, and I can certainly talk to my partners about where we would be, and we really did try to. 460 would, that in and of itself, that's running it pretty tight for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. mean, I know how you guys do your work, and as I said, at that point, we were interested, but now we've gotten seriously interested looking at what's happening in the market and realizing that we probably don't want to renovate the house at this point, and we also don't want to become, that's not our business, renovating houses and selling them or flipping them. So we'd much rather go to someone like you that can do it, and we have, I just be very candid, we have no other offers, we've not approached anyone, we haven't thought about putting it on the market, we've just done a little bit more homework with a few people in Prescott. I don't know if you know Mike Fan or not and his real estate stuff, but he's a good friend of my wife's, and we talked to a couple brokers and what they could see. There's a comp in that neighborhood that is not really a good comp, but it's right around the corner at 800,000. I'm sure you've done your homework. That's your job. So I mean,
right? Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't. We don't need to sort of nickel and dime each other. We just got to get closer to 5 and see what you can come up with.
No, I hear you there, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. I will certainly talk to my investment partners, because really we would really just, our goal would just be to make it as seamless as possible for you.
Yeah,
and again, it sounds like for you to kind of avoid that hassle of putting work into it, to renovating it yourself, and then listing on the market.
Exactly. I mean, it just seems to me that ideally in the best of all possible worlds, we'd just do this with you and we wouldn't repurchase. Right now, we're probably going to have to try to do a property exchange, or it's going to kill us.
Okay, no, yeah, I hear you there. Okay, so I mean, I can certainly talk to my partners, which I'll do. But is there? I mean, would you have, like I said, I mean, 460 would be really tight for us. Would you have any wiggle room to possibly meet somewhere closer to the middle?
Yes.
You would. Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely, we would. So,
okay, great.
I mean, as I said, I don't want to be negotiating against myself, nor do you. We really, truly want to make this work, so let's see what we can do.
Okay, and I'm just kind of spitballing here, but obviously, we'll run the numbers, we'll crunch them again, and see, what the best possible offer we would be for you, where it would come in at. But if something like that's closer to 400 and let's just say $480,000 cash, is that something that you'd possibly be looking to move forward with?
I think so. It's so close. I don't think we want to let that little bit of money stand in our way. I have to, of course, talk to my wife because she's more sentimental about this. I'm trying to keep all the emotional kind of stuff out of it, quite frankly, as you can imagine.
Okay, no, absolutely. No, I hear you there.
And my wife is not that kind of person, but, I mean, she's a business person. But in this case, this house is, has been, her dream to renovate it and go back there. And, we finally got off of that mark right now. So
absolutely.
I think the bottom line is we could do that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the next step for me is, like I said, right after I step off the phone with you, I'll go ahead and we'll run the numbers, and I will talk to them and just see if that's something that we could come up to and be really as high as we possibly can.
That sounds good. And listen, it's your timing now. We're available to you anytime. We're in no rush to do this, so when you can get back to me, just call the other number, and if I can't talk to you, I'll call you right back.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I got the other number jotted down and saved, so I will go ahead and talk to them about that, and kind of let them know if that's something we can be at, then that you would possibly be looking to move forward.
Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate your time and effort, and let's hope we can get this done.
Awesome, Michael. I appreciate your time as well. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, as you heard, we had offered 460. They went close to 5. We are willing to go to 480. It's still a deal for us. Still makes sense at that price. 5 gets extremely tight, but 480 we can still make work. So what we're gonna do from this point is we're gonna, we already know that we're good for it. Just give them a little bit of time to kind of think, make it seem like we're really, doing our due diligence on it, running our numbers as tight as we possibly can. And then Jack will give him a call back and say, hey, it was extremely difficult to get up to this price. The owner of the company, they did not want to come up to it, but, they really like the property and they want to make it work. We want to work with you and make this as easy as possible. So we're going to basically kind of say, if we can do 480, you got yourself a deal, right? And if he says yes, we're going to try to get a confirmation from him. Then we'll say, sounds great, we'll get the contract right over for you. So that's how this next call is going to go, which we might as well go ahead and record that one as well. So we'll probably make that call here in about 15 minutes. So stay tuned. All right, we are going to give Mike a call back. We are going to come at it from an angle where we're going to try to make sure that he feels as if he is winning if we get up to 480,000. So I'm probably going to hop on the phone for a little while and tell him about how we need to be at 470, maybe work our way up to 475. And if we can get him at 470, 475, that's fantastic. But if we can't, we're still happy with 480. But again, what this is going to do is it's going to make him feel like he has won going up to 480, which we're going to 480 either way.
All
So
right.
here we go.
Do you want to just jump right in right after I
Yeah, sure.
say, introduce you?
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to be going by Jake because I have spoke with him in the past. So he knows my name, Luke.
Jack.
Hey, Michael, is now a good time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. Hey, so I was actually able to speak with my one of my investment partners. He's actually on the line with us now.
Okay.
How you doing there, Mike?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, doing well. Hey, I really appreciate you, taking the time to talk to Jack about the property here. I know you guys have been talking for a little while now, so.
Yeah, he's a very patient guy.
No, Jack's great. He's we love him. We love him. So Jack was just kind of filling us in on. So you guys were looking for more. I can understand that. So for us, obviously, as I'm sure Jack mentioned, it's pretty tight for us, honestly, at the 460.
Yeah.
Just for what we'd be looking at doing to the property. I mean, do you think that if we came up an extra 10,000, I could do 470,000 cash, we'd be good?
I really don't, but I'll certainly talk to my wife if you like. I think we'd have a much better shot at it with 480.
480.
As I said, we rarely do real estate from an emotional perspective.
For sure.
But this is one exception to that, unfortunately.
I hear you. So, okay, let me see here.
Why don't you just sleep on it and we can talk tomorrow? We're not in any kind of discussion with anybody.
No, it's no big deal. No, I understand that. So I mean, I'm just trying to think here. So, do you think that would you say if I could do, if we could split the difference, right? Say if I could split the difference and do, I know we're talking about splitting hairs here by the time we get to this price point, but if I could do 475, would you say we'd have a deal?
I really think it's 480, but I'm not even sure at that level. So please let me talk to my wife and we can talk tomorrow. I really think if you came at 480, I would certainly say to her, we really need to do this. I just know how she feels about it, and I just feel like what the information is. Look, she would like to sell the house for 600. I mean, and that's like slim and no chance of that happening.
Right.
It needs far too much work. But when you are raised in a house and you grow up in it, and
yeah.
We've owned the house for 20 or 25 years thinking we were going to move back there.
Right.
I feel like we've just made a huge amount of movement to trying to get around the idea of selling it. So,
right.
Let me talk to her tonight and we can talk tomorrow.
Okay. That sounds good. I mean, I like I said, I felt, comfortable at the 460. I mean, we would like to make it work with you. We'd like to work with you on the property and on the project.
Yeah. We feel the same way.
But I'll see what I can do. I could probably do 470, just being completely honest. And so let's just do this. Let's you go ahead and talk to the wife then, and then sleep on it, I guess, and we'll talk in the morning and see what we can do.
Sounds perfect. Appreciate it. Both of you very much.
Of course. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much, Mike.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
So I could have pushed to go to 480 right there, and I probably could have gotten him to say, maybe a confirmation that he thinks that his wife will be good with that. But again, if we're talking about 470 to 480, I don't want to talk ourselves out of 10 grand over waiting one night. Like, we want the project, but he assured us he's not talking to anyone else. And so it's like, if we still do have a decent chance of getting it at 470, 475, I'd rather not lose 5 to 10 grand just because we want the property to make a decision in one day. So again, I think we probably could have gotten him at 480, at least to give us a confirmation that he's going to talk to his wife and talk her into it. But again, he was still even saying that, you know, he still needs to talk to his wife even at about 480. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why I didn't do that. So, so we'll be probably on the road tomorrow when we talk to him after he's talked to his wife. So, we'll put that one on the camera and make sure you're seeing how it's going to go. So, there we go.
Thanks for tuning in.